Hey everybody, Tenya here. Welcome to another episode of HMF Live. I thought tonight we would do something a little bit more fun and lighthearted, and then next week, of course, we'll get back to the normal health, fitness, relationships episodes. But tonight I wanted to show you how to make some of your very own, DIY, do-it-yourself workout tank tops. So this is actually one I made quite a while ago, and I'm going to show you this design here. So basically what you're going to need is an old t-shirt that you don't really either want or wear anymore. This was one that my husband gave me, and it was way too big for me to wear as a regular t-shirt, so I turned it into a workout tank, and now it gets used all the time. So you'll need a t-shirt and a pair of scissors. Fabric scissors would be preferable. So I'm going to adjust the camera here. So you're going to point down here at my workout or my workspace, and then we'll get started. And this should take you, normally these episodes are about 20 minutes, so this should take you about 20 minutes, maybe even less. Just depends on how carefully and quickly you can cut your shirt. I will say, make sure it's a shirt that maybe you're not super attached to, just in case you do mess it up, because I have had little mishaps before that I've had to try and correct. So, all right, let's adjust the camera and we'll get started. And you can see my kitty cat there. That's Miss Kitty making an appearance. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. Got my scissors here. This is actually a t-shirt that I got at a race this summer, and it's way too big. It's a medium, but that is a huge medium, so gonna be a workout tank. All right, so first things first, make sure everything is kind of straight and all the wrinkles are out. You might even want to have a bigger workout or a workspace work table than this. So I'm gonna start by cutting off the sleeves, and cutting off the sleeves here, and then also collar, and then the bottom here, and I'll show you. So let's go ahead, and I usually start this way. You can start on the seam if you'd like. You don't need to keep the sleeves here in this case. And actually there are a ton of different ways. This is just one. There are a ton of different ways that you can go on and look for. I found a lot on Pinterest. You can also Google and find different styles. This is just one style. Finish cutting that. Okay, we'll do the other side. And then we'll probably go back through, honestly, and then kind of finish cutting off that seam there. But for the purposes of tonight's video, we'll make this as quick as possible. Cutting off the other sleeve here. And if you would like, you can actually go to my Pinterest on my boards, and you can find a couple of these. So if you go to pinterest.com / Tenya Moravec, and then look under, I believe it's under my projects board, you'll find some of these that I have pinned that you can use, and try a few different ones and find styles that you like, and then you can keep on searching from there. Okay, so we've got the sleeves done, and if you are, I will mention this too because I can't really watch because this is such a weird angle. If you're asking questions and I don't get to them during the show, I will respond after we're done. So just FYI. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish. Go around the collar. And this time I am going to go around the seam. So the nice thing is that the seams are already nice and straight, so there's not a whole lot of guesswork there. You can just follow the dotted line. If it's easier, flip it over and keep on going. This is a great way to kind of recycle, reuse, repurpose t-shirts. This you will probably, well, this or the bottom strip you're going to want to hold on to because that will come back into play later. But anyway, this is a great way to do that and to not waste shirts unless you have people that you can give them to. But since Gary and I are practically the same size, once a shirt is too big for us, we can't do much with it except for me turning it into workout tanks. And for him, He takes the sleeves and turns them into little like headband things to hold his hair back. Okay, so same thing here. I'm going to cut this off using the bottom seam. You can see that there. I know it might be a little bit out of frame. Should be coming into frame now. There we go. I'm going to cut this all the way off. And the reason I'm doing it separate like this instead of all together is because I want to make sure that it's all relatively even in the front and back. And beware, if you have a cat nearby while you're doing this, she will be eyeballing your cut strings. Okay, so this might, you can hold on to this one or to this one, it'll come into play later. Okay, so far so good. We cut these off, we cut this off, we cut the bottom off. Now, this is going to be kind of where you decide that you want it. The next thing that we're going to do is kind of make bigger armholes, or really like wider. So these will become narrow, but these will become bigger, if that makes sense. And it's going to depend on how wide you want this here, or be careful not to cut it too thin, because then eventually that will rip. So that's our next cut. So you can do this. Let's do this from the front first. We'll start there. It's always good, or better, I should say, to go kind of modest, and then if it's not the cut that you want, then you can cut more. But if you go too short first, and then it's too small or whatever, you can't grow more fabric. So, this one. Flip this over. This is where it gets a little tricky, because you want to try and make them as even as possible. And this is where it would be nice to have a bigger table. Okay, so we're going to match this up right about here. Make sure this is all even. And you guys might even see me make some mistakes here live, but that's okay, because that's why I picked a shirt that I don't really care about. I may have to fix this even after I'm done with the video. Maybe go a little bit more. Okay, I think that's probably pretty good. And I can make some corrections later. Then we'll just cut here. Okay, off to a good start. All right, now we're going to flip this over, and you can go back later and sort of trim all these little like extra hooks that are back there. Okay, so let's make this as straight and as even as possible. Okay. So you'll see here, like, I'm not exactly straight, so I'll go back through and finish that later. But we do want to do some stuff to the back. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to take this, and you're going to want to try, and this is where it gets a little tricky. You're going to want to try and we're going to make a V cut, and so you want that to try and be as even as possible from each side. I go to the end, start there. I can already tell that I'm not as even as I would like to be. But that's also the nice thing, that these are just workout tank tops, so it's not a big deal if they're not perfect. You might be more of a perfectionist about it than I am, and that's totally okay. You might also be a better cutter than I am, and that is also okay. All right, so we've got that. Let's see here. Where do we want to go next? So you can also determine, like, how, if you want it to go deeper, you can. This is where we're also going to come back here and actually make some deeper cuts around the arms, because this is almost going to be more of like a sort of like a muscle shirt. If you could see, let me grab that Wolverine shirt again, just to help you visualize. So you see, we'll have to make this wider back here, so that way it's more of like an open sort of muscle tank kind of style. All right. So I'm going to go back here. And be careful that you're not cutting the front too. Let's turn this way. For now, that extra little piece on there is okay. Okay, now this is where those other pieces of fabric are going to come into play. Now you can decide how thick you want these to be, or even how far in you want that to go, because now what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to take probably the longer strap that came from the bottom. I'm going to take this and start wrapping it around. And as far as like the tying and stuff goes, that's going to kind of, if you have tricks that you want to do, go for it. For me, I just start with a knot, and then I'll wrap it around again. You probably won't even need all of this length, so you can kind of be the judge there. And then I'll just keep on wrapping. So I'm going to kind of wrap it up, because that's going to give it sort of a backbone, if you will. And you probably don't want to go all the way up to the top, because then it'll be a pretty tight oops, sorry, I'm bumping my own camera. It'll be a pretty tight fit up around your neck. So we'll do that for now. Maybe one more, just to get some of that loose ends off. We'll go in there, and we'll come back through to the bottom. And then you can use this bottom piece again and tie it off. I'm trying to keep my head out of the way here so you can see it. Okay, now this is a very roughshod version of the shirt because I wanted to do this for the show, but you get the idea, and then you can take this and tuck these pieces in at the bottom, or you can cut them off, however you want to do that, and there you go. And then you can go back through and trim off some of these extra pieces here. Like I'll probably go through and cut that off and make that a little bigger and make that a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and finish fixing this up. Oh, I almost forgot. Probably should have done this before I did all the cutting, but oh well. So we're going to take the shirt now and lay it sideways. We're going to make a little, make a little bit of an angled cut. So from the front, we're going to start up higher and then make our way back. So it's going to kind of drip or droop further back, longer in the back, if that makes sense. All right, so, and again, this is where you might want to start sort of more modest, and if it's not short enough, you can go up, but I'm going to start about right here. Seems like it's going to be pretty good. And like I said, you probably want to do this before you do all of that work up there, but I totally forgot, so. Start angling it towards this corner down here. There, so you can see there kind of the angle, so it's going to be a little longer in the back, shorter in the front. Okay. And so like I said, kind of a rough shot because I wanted to do it quickly for this episode. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to finish it up. I'm going to fix it up and cut off all the jagged edges and stuff. And then I will post a picture of the finished product, I guess, probably with me in it. But I will post a picture of the finished product in the comments of this video. So if you try it, I would love to see your version. Maybe you can do it better than I did. Again, I would say that, if you can take more time than just here on a live broadcast, you'll probably do a better job. And my Wolverine one did turn out better because I took more time with it. But you can also go to my Pinterest boards at pinterest.com/Tenya Moravec, and you can find my projects of this kind of stuff. And then even look for other like DIY tanks, different styles, all that kind of stuff. So if you like these kind of episodes, let me know. Maybe I'll start throwing more of them in to the monthly schedule besides health, fitness, and relationship topics. But I just thought this would be kind of fun and a way to change things up. So, all right, stay tuned for the finished product after I've kind of polished it up a bit. And yeah, have a great night, and I will see you next week. We'll probably be back to a health and fitness topic. So, yeah, have a great Tuesday and enjoy the rest of your week.